So I want to say this. Be careful because your locks are antennas.
I know it's my time. I wanna see me shine. Everybody got a frown. They just wanna see me down. They just wanna hear me shout. They don't wanna see me smile. I just wanna do my thing. They don't wanna see me hang. They be talking about me sideways. I hear them from a distance. I ain't paying attention.
Alright y'all, so I'm back with another video, and I just want to say thank you to all my subs. You guys are the best. Now I want to talk about my locks, because I get a lot of stares. People call me weird. People say all type of things about locks, and I just want to talk about it. I got my notes right here, and I took down notes only because I don't want to come off as a conspiracy theorist to people, and I want to give you facts that you can research yourself and you can cross-reference with my notes. So I just want to talk about locks being antennas, locks being connected to your inner spirit, locks being a sign of strength, a sign of wisdom. If you cut your hair, if you cut your locks, locks are at its natural state, but you don't have to have locks to be at a natural state or to have these abilities. But your locks has a spiritual antenna that connects you to your superpowers, connecting you to your spirit guides, connecting you to the creator. And if you cut them off, it's just like an antenna on a TV, on a television. If you take the antenna away, then you lose reception, just like a phone or a radio. If you cut the antenna that's built in externally, then you lose your connection, you lose your reception. It's the same way as locks. Locks have electricity form, or in a sense, they connect you to, kinetic energies. And the reason why I say that locks connect you to your spirit guides is because you have to be careful when you start to form locks based off of experience. I'm saying this because when I first started my first set of locks, let me just give you a backstory. When I first started my first set of locks, I was so in a rush to start my locks, and I didn't have any knowledge on locks. I just wanted to go dive right in there and just start my locks. And what I did was, my hair was so thin from being permed so much that I didn't like the way they looked when I started them. So what I did was start extensions on the ends. And as time went on, I noticed that the extensions were weighing out my hair. Actually, from right here is where I cut them. So this much right here is what I was left with. So, and you can see the new growth, and it started to combine together, and I just started messing with them. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I may end up cutting those tips off because I like them at its natural freeform state, but that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the abilities that you gain when you start to freeform. You have semi-freeform, which is what I have, and then you have freeform locks, which is what I have at the roots, because I have not retwisted them. They're combining. I have not pulled them apart, and I just washed them, so you can see some water. But as you can see, these I have not twisted them, and I'm gonna tell you why I have not twisted them. Now, when I first started the first ones, I used to twist them often because they were messy and I just wanted them to be presentable. I was worried so much about how they look that I would retwist them whenever, I saw new growth. And what started to happen was, not knowing that the extensions were already stressing my hair out, I was stressing them out more by twisting them a lot. And they started to thin out so much. And I don't have not one that I could show you, because now in the beginning I think I'm gonna have to go inside of my phone and find it. This one right here, you can still see it right there. I'm probably gonna cut this one off. I'm not gonna even lie. I might end up cutting that off, but I'm gonna let it do what it do, because it may end up combining to one of the other ones. This one was the same way. This is an example. As you can see, it's combining. So back to what I was saying, it started to thin out, and I did not like it. Right now, my hair probably would have been down here if I wouldn't cut it. but I just didn't like the way the roots were thinning out. So I ended up cutting those extensions off, you know, and I'm not down in extensions. Some people, you know, if you have thick hair, it may not affect you, but I've always had thin hair. So thick and thin at the same time. If I'm at my natural state, my hair is thicker than me stressing it with styles. So a lot of you guys know me prior to me wearing styles a lot. I would style my hair a lot, and I don't know how I lasted this long with my hair freeform like this, because I cannot stand to see my hair frizzing. I cannot stand to see, you know, I would do it frequently. So me at my natural state, I know that me having my hair like this, a lot of people are going to judge me. I know that. People judge me all the time. And I said this in one of my other videos. I had, you know, a case manager, or she wasn't even a case manager. I don't know why I keep calling her case manager. Whatever. Coordinator. She's a coordinator. That's what she is. She's my service coordinator. So my service coordinator, she took one look at me and she was like, "Are you trying to make yourself ugly?" And I'm looking at her like, this lady thinks I'm ugly because of my hair, you know, or whatever. In the beginning, I used to be back and forth with wigs, and I got to a point where I just stopped wearing wigs. I got comfortable with my hair. But in the beginning, I would wear wigs most of the time. And I noticed that when she saw me with my wig, she would tell me, "Oh, you look so nice today." And that's when I knew that people was judging me based on how I look. Once I started locking my hair, I started getting treatment I've never witnessed in my life. People would automatically think that I'm a hoodlum. People automatically think that I'm a druggie. People automatically think I'm just this, you know, and I'm nowhere near none of that. I wear my hair like this because it's a way of life. It's a way of my life. It's the way of how I live. And I know that my hair connects me to my inner spirit. Like I said, on a television, you need that antenna inside in order for it to communicate and send signals off to the television. So that's just how our body works. Our body is like a radio, and our hair is the antenna. It's the reception. So once you cut your hair off, you're cutting off your intuition out, in a sense, because your hair is your strength. And if you cut it off, you're cutting your wisdom off. You're not going to be able to perceive intuitive leads. You're not going to be able to comprehend those intuitive leads when you receive them. Like the radio signal won't be able to recognize that signal without the reception, which is the antenna. They give women and men light codes and knowledge of themselves, so it enlightens you on who you are and what you're supposed to do. So just like if you're heading in a direction you're not supposed to be there, you see those hairs stand up on top of your, you know, your back or your hands or your forearms. That's your antenna sending you light codes. It's telling you something's not right, or how something is absolutely right. Keep going with that. So it can be good or bad. It resonates on how your situation is. So your hair is your crown. And if you perm it, you are frying your crown. You're frying your knowledge. You're frying your sense of connecting to the outside world. So never perm your hair, never cut your hair. Those are two things you should never do. And I used to perm my hair all the time. And it's what I remember right before I locked my hair. And this was the reason why I locked my hair, because I dyed it and I permed it at the same time. Oh man, that was the worst thing anyone could ever do. When I dyed it, I noticed that the ends were thin and the roots was thick. I had a poof and a wet bag, so it didn't look right. And then the dye, because I didn't moisturize it, was my fault because I didn't know how to manage dyes. So my hair started to fall out immediately. So, you know, I looked like a cancer patient. I looked like whatever, like I had HIV or whatever. People would actually say that to me, so I'm not being sarcastic. People would actually make rumors to me and say that to me. So what I did was I cut it off and I started natural, but I didn't notice yet that the perm is what did it. So I remember my hair was short and I was still perming it because it would look too nappy, and people would say, "Girl, you need to, you know, do something with your hair." So that was around the time I would care about what people would say about my hair. You know, I'm past that. So you know, most people are dangerous when they start their hair. You know why? Because you start to receive light codes, like I said. You start to see things differently. You start to notice things that isn't right. You start to notice things that aren't right for you. Not just, you know, in the outside world, but mostly it's all about you. Like I said, you receive light codes and wisdom of yourself. So you shouldn't wear weaves. And I'm going to tell you about weaves. Let's talk about weaves. And I'm a huge hypocrite of this because I used to wear weaves, and like I said, I was just recently into wigs, and you know, every now and then when I need to put on a costume, I wear a wig, but I haven't worn one in months. But let's talk about this. The reason why I say weaves, you don't know where that weave came from. You don't know who wore that weave, as in a sense, you don't know whose head that hair came from. You don't know if that person, you know, had negative energy on them. You don't know if that person had curses. And remember I told you your hair is your crown. It's attached to you. It's your receptor. It's your antenna. So that hair, even though it's removed from that person, it still is connected to that person. You can remove the spirit, but it still connects to other spirits. So that hair it works the same way. So if you take that hair off someone else and put it onto your head, you're now connected to their spirit. So if they had curses on them, you now have curses on you. So there's ways to cleanse the hair before you wear it, of course. But like I said, you don't know where that hair came from. So it's not good to wear weaves. Wear your own hair. Wear your hair. Your hair is your antenna, which is, you know, energetic sense. So you have to be very careful who touch your hair. You have to be careful with these hairdressers. You have to be careful with who you allow into your energy, which is your hair. So you shouldn't you have to get familiarized with hairdressers. So if you have one person that does your hair and you notice that she's growing your hair or he's growing your hair, continue to stick with them. But if you go to someone and they do your hair and your hair starts to fall out, discontinue them from touching your hair. And don't just allow people to just randomly walk up and touch your hair. It sounds weird and it sounds crazy like me, but let me tell you something. Like I said, your hair is an energy source. It's like electricity. It sends off electricity. So if you allow someone to touch you, we're all gems. We're all crystals. You know what I mean? We're all crystals. So we work in the same way that a crystal works. So like I have my crystals, I wear crystals all the time. They're going to be energetically connected to me because I'm wearing them. So if someone else comes up and, you know, tries to connect with my crystal, we're going to be connecting with the same energies. You have to cleanse it and get it familiarized with you. And that's just how a person's hands work. Your hands are powerful. Anything you touch can either turn to gold or mold. So if you allow someone with a bad spirit and a bad energetic connection touch your hair, now you're connected by spirit. So your Locs connect you to your creator and spirit guides. And I say you are created because everybody don't believe in the same person. You have some people who believe in the devil and don't realize they believe in the devil. And then you have certain people who believe in spirit guides. Those people are special because they know better. And our spirit guides are electricity forces. Our spirit are electricity forces. So that's what makes your hair the main spleen. You know what I mean? Your hair is a chakra. You have chakras all over your body, but your hair being the main spleen chakra, it's like a kundalini effect or energy, however you want to say it. If you don't have your antenna, you don't have reception. You're low on your vibration. You're low on your, you know, communication. And you don't, like I said, I'm going to say it one more time. You don't have to have locks to have an antenna. Everybody has an antenna, but it has to be at its natural state in order for it to communicate and to allow frequencies to be sent or to be received at the same time. You have to receive and you have to send them off. You can't have one way and not the other. So you have to have both. So you have to get connected to your energy source, and your hair connects you to it. So anything coarse generates electricity, and that's why I'm not going to be biased to black, white. I'm not racist. I've never been racist. I have all type of races in my family. But I'm going to say this. Coarse hair generates electricity. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean about frequencies and connecting to higher frequencies, and spirits connect to higher frequencies. I know I sound crazy and I know I look very weird. Like I said, people call me weird all the time, but if you know better, you do better. If you knew that your hair was an antenna, you would learn how to take care of your hair. You would treat your hair like a gym, because your hair is a gym. Your hair is kinetic energy. So I want you to do research on kinetic energy. I want you to do research on your hair. I want you to do research on locks. So if you're a person that's trying to start your locks, I want you to research first on ways how to start it. You don't have to have the pretty locks that's twisted all the time. You're damaging it just like a perm. You're stressing your hair out. Hair is a living organism just like you. You know what I'm saying? Hair breathes air. Your hair needs sun. Your hair needs water. So when you're twisting it and twisting it and twisting it, you're stressing your hair out. Like a job is stressing you out. If you're doing too much, you don't learn how to take a break. You are stressing yourself out. So the hair works in the same way. If you're twisting it too much, if you're braiding it too much, if you're dyeing it too much, if you're perming it just once, you are stressing your hair out. And your hair is a receptor. Your hair is your antenna that connects you to higher frequencies. So I want to say this. Be careful, because your locks are antennas. Be careful with letting people touch your locks, because you may generate their frequencies. And if they have negative frequencies, now you also have negative frequencies. So I'm going to do a part 2 on this. And I just want to say thank you guys for listening. And I have distractions going on, so I'm going to end this video right here. And I just want to say, don't forget to be a blessing to somebody else today, because you might change your life around.
So stay tuned. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.